Welcome to the Fantasy Thinker. I'm Jerry Quartermatch, and today we're going to be doing Reading the Prose number 18. And we are going to be talking about The Book That Broke the World by Mark Lawrence. This is book 2 in the Library Trilogy, and it is the first book being The Book That Wouldn't Burn. This is The Book That Broke the World. It just came out last week, and I just started it yesterday. And so I wanted to go through the very first paragraph, or actually two paragraphs, but they're real short, in this book. There's no prologue. It just starts out right with chapter 1. And I wanted to go through the first short paragraphs here, just to get an idea of what information um, Mark Lawrence is giving to us about the book that's ahead of us. So, the first chapter starts with a new character, so I'm not giving anything away from the first book at all. There's no spoilers here whatsoever. This is all new information, and as you'll see, I think it's relative to this book. And so, to begin, being able to see the walls of your prison is a luxury that few are afforded. Make no mistake, though, every one of us is trapped. This was the slave's wisdom, and he was giving to sharing it. The palisade around the Arthran dig site had seen better days and had probably been unimpressive on the day it was finished. But its presence, Miles Carstar maintained, allowed a concrete focus for the restless dissatisfaction that would otherwise turn inwards and chew away at a person or even an animal from the inside. All right, so hopefully you can see these words up here on the side. So what does that tell us about the book we're about to read? All right, the very first two sentences here. Being able to see the walls of your prison is a luxury that few are afforded. Make no mistake, though, every one of us is trapped. That right there spells out a theme that's going to be in this book. I would think. I'm only 50 pages into this book so far, and so I don't know what's going to happen, and I am relying on these clues at the beginning of the book to inform me about what's coming, what I may be in for, and what I can expect from the prose, and what I can expect from this viewpoint, particularly whatever this viewpoint is. We don't know yet, but we do know what we do know is that this person feels trapped, and we know from the paragraph after this that this person most likely is a slave in this situation. And they but the theme going on here in that first two sentences is that we are all in some sort of prison. In this person's case, it's quite obvious. They're in this palisade. They're in this dig site. This dig site is a prison. It's surrounded by a palisade, which is kind of like a wall that's keeping them in the prison. And the but this slave is maintaining that we are all in some sort of prison, whether that prison's of our own making or somebody else's making. But we are there. They're insinuating that is um, this is for everyone, whether we realize it or not. And because that's why they're saying make no mistake. So whether we realize it or not, we're all in some sort of prison. Um, and that's just a broad general statement, a thematic statement, and it's not necessarily something that we all have to escape from. They're not saying that right there. That would be something that we may assume on our own, but it's not exactly what they're saying. And But the one thing they are saying is that it's the slaver's wisdom, and so we get a sense of identity of the slaver, is given to sharing it, and we're also getting a name, Miles Carstar, for the person responsible, at least partly, from what we know so far, for their being in this prison. Um, and we also get an explanation of what the prison is, a dig site and surrounded by a palisade. Um, and we also get that it's um, it's mundane, it's unimpressive, it's nothing that you know that's going to stand out as any kind of that's going to ever give you a sense of wonder or anything like that. So it's not a very nice prison, most likely. We're also getting the sense that this prison, this unimpressive palisade, is what allows our person here, whoever our focus is, whoever our point of view here, it allows our person who has this point of view a concrete focus for their dissatisfaction, something to focus their hate on, or their anger, or their rage, or their dissatisfaction on, which allows that person not to bring it inward, not to let it eat them from the inside, so that they're not tearing away at themselves and breaking themselves down. They have something to focus that dissatisfaction on. And that is also a thematic statement that we can look forward to in the rest of the book. So we're able to say, okay, so now when a character or when a person in life has a focus for their anger, for their dissatisfaction, that allows them to use that instead of eating away at the inside, instead of breaking down the self and be self incriminating and have all these things eating you from the inside out. You have a focus on the outside for your dissatisfaction that allows you to basically keep going. And so you don't that person's point of view, who we suspect is a slave here, just from this little bit of information, uh, is that it's better to have something to focus on rather than destroying yourself from within. And so I think that's a couple of good, solid themes that we have going into this book that will probably resonate throughout the whole book with the characters we encounter. Knowing this series as I know this is not going to be the only character that we run across. Um, but I have a feeling that these two themes here are going to be things we run across even with the other characters in the book. That's just my gut feeling. I could be wrong. Who knows? But uh, that's just something that I've run across before in other books, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if those were the themes that we encounter as we move ahead in reading this book. And so um, that is reading the prose number 18 from the book that broke the world. And hopefully, if you like that, like and subscribe below. And as always, be good to each other. Thank you.